So this is going to be a reading for my Geminis. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the next 48 hours. So April 5th until the 7th is the time frame we're going to be looking at. So let's get into it. If you're new, welcome. Make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out the description if you want a personal reading as well. My Linktree link will be posted there. And you guys can follow me on Instagram or Twitter if you want to see daily horoscopes. I'm going to get back into posting them. I did have to take some time off because I did have a lot of personal readings to do. So I wasn't really posting horoscopes like that. But yes, let's go ahead and get into it, Geminis. Geminis for the next 48 hours, April 5th through the 7th. Okay, so the overall energy, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Your current energy, we have the Six of Wands. The challenge is the Seven of Wands in reverse. Advice is the Queen of Wands. And outcome is the Three of Cups. Gemini for the next 48 hours. What's the message? Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So the first card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune, representing the overall energy. And this is really positive. Whenever the Wheel of Fortune comes up, this is a sign of things shifting for the better, things falling in alignment. So with the Wheel of Fortune here, there's some sort of, again, like I said, turnaround in energy. You may be finding that things are more favorable for you. Things are just starting to fall into place or make sense, at least in terms of what you're trying to do here. Excuse me, guys, I had to take a drink of coffee. So yes, this is like things falling in alignment. There may be also a turnaround in terms of your personal thinking process. This is you having more of a positive, the world is my oyster type of mindset. There you go. Another thing with this card as well, this is like things kind of like, how do I put this into words? Okay, this is you kind of going through some changes. And for some of you, this is more of like life cycle or a life cycle coming to a close here. Especially if it was more, like I said, negative. Now, there's a great sign in terms of like change, abundance. So if you're like a business owner, you may see some sort of turnaround in your business. For some of you, this is like a turnaround in terms of like getting employment just in general if you were looking to get a job. Now, another really good card that we have here, we have the Six of Wands, which is really positive. Okay, whenever we're talking about the Six of Wands, we're talking about success. We're talking about recognition. We're talking about being in the spotlight. This card usually comes up, especially if it's paired like with the Star card. That's usually like celebrity energy, okay? But of course, with this card here, your current energy, you may be feeling just more upbeat. You may be finding yourself really focused on getting somewhere in your career. You may be wanting to be more successful, or you may be setting your sights on being successful in a certain career. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue tied. And this is you guys possibly even getting recognition for any type of hard work or creative endeavors that you may have here. So if you are somebody who's been putting in that work, you may be getting recognition from someone important to you or people around you, or even through a magazine or something like that. This recognition can come from anyone, literally. But this is definitely good fortune, and this is definitely you guys trying to accomplish something or being proud of your accomplishments up until this point. Now, when it comes to the challenge, I do have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So the challenge may be getting out of some sort of tumultuous situation here, or like getting things to shift in that said tumultuous situation. This could be like you wanting to give up or like compromising like who you are for the sake of a situation or a job or something. Or Yeah, it's like feeling like wanting to give up because either you're constantly being criticized by someone or questioned by others, or you feel like you're just not making any progress. You could also be feeling like slightly overwhelmed by like certain responsibilities or like issues in your life. And you could be like having certain arguments with someone, and you could be realizing it's just not worth it because you may not be winning any of these arguments. Now, some of you could just be feeling overwhelmed energy wise in terms of creative things that you're working on. But advice here with the Queen of Wands, be creative, yes, tap into that, you know, be all that you can be in terms of your creative genius, but make sure you're not overworking yourself. There's a difference between, being a creative genius and then literally overworking yourself. Also, with the Queen of Wands here, this is embodying the Queen of Wands in terms of being motivated. Being motivated, being creative, being unapologetically you. But also, like I said, make sure you're not overworking yourself. Also, if you do find yourself having slight moments where your temper is more on a high, this is finding a way to work through those moments of having a hot temper or being easily irritated, I would say. And for some of you who have a fire sign around you, this is giving that person their space so that they can, come back to the relationship and be their best version, especially if you guys have been having some sort of disagreements. Now, when it comes to the outcome, I do have the Three of Cups. So there may be some sort of friendship that may be prevalent some way, somehow. You may be looking at certain friendships and whether or not they're able to be rekindled or if you should walk away from certain friendships. You may be seeing an old friend like through another friend. They could be inviting this person to like a celebration or something. Or with the Three of Cups, this could be some of you guys just celebrating with family, going out more. Some of you could be reconciling as well with an ex or with somebody who you've been talking to, just never quite got into a relationship with yet. Things like that. Now, the last card I want to discuss, it says, I am a source of creativity. And it says you possess an unlimited amount of creative energy and have the ability to create new ideas and solutions. Inspiring others is effortless when you're living in your truth. Although allow the thoughts that enter your mind to flow freely into tangible objects or goals. Okay. So with this card, yes, this is you guys needing to understand that you are a source of creativity and you guys may have an unlimited source of energy to create, but that doesn't mean exert it all in one sitting to where you're burnt out and you don't want to do anything for a while. And it also means to always refuel whenever you are, being creative. Take a moment to step back and look at what you're creating so that what you're creating doesn't seem like a mess because your mind's all over the place. But also, for some of you who have a lot of energy constantly that's not being used, this is, again, feeding it into your projects instead of you keeping all your ideas pent up. Put it into tangible objects and goals for sure. So this is what I see. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, thumbs the video up, subscribe, check out the description box if you want a personal, and I will see you in the next one.